in supporting road safety?
It's all about saving life. Even one life lost is too many.
Okay. Mr. Male, as a Zambia Road Safety Advocacy Organization, why do you think safety culture in workplaces and communities should be encouraged?
Well, thank you very much, Priska. Like you stated, Lati, we are an advocacy organization who are just supplementing government efforts fighting this tragedy, this pandemic, which is killing a lot of people. As Priska, you know, previously, a lot of people used to die with malaria, okay, tuberculosis and these other diseases. But now, children are also being killed on our roads, okay, because of maybe carelessness of our drivers. Maybe as parents, we are not really helping these children, telling them the day
Mr. Mwaleme, working with Zambia Road Safety Trust, we've managed to reach about 50,000 pupils in different schools. So if more companies would come on board, it means we're going to cover a bigger number of children out there. And road safety is not for Puma and for Zambia Road Safety Trust. It's for all of us. Many of us, when we're traveling to work, we are on a vehicle. Our children are on a vehicle coming from school. So this is a hazard that is very real and apparent, and it's something that we all need to start talking about and doing something.
And what other issues where road safety is concerned as you fuel journeys in Zambia and other regions?
Yeah, well, we're passionate about fuels, and we're all about fueling journeys. So we'd like even the journeys that we fuel to be safe journeys. And so road safety is very key to us. And maybe one of the road principles that I would like to take on, we have 8 of them, is one to do with the cell phone. We would like the journeys to start safely, and that is right at the filling station. Many people out there do not understand the hazards that are associated with using cell phones at the filling station, and they use them indiscriminately. But that is a very big fire hazard, and I'd urge our listeners to refrain from using cell phones whenever they are at the filling station and when they are driving.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Perry, good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon. I'm enjoying.
Is it?
Yes.
It is good that you're enjoying, Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry, maybe with you, I would want to talk about another thing, which is about the light trucks which are killing people. We saw an accident which happened that was last week along Kafiwe Mazabuka Road, and 11 people died on the spot. And looking at that journey, that truck or maybe canter started from Lusaka going to the to Kafiwe or the southern side. And it is believed that it was allowed at the checkpoint because definitely it had passed at Kafiwe checkpoint after the bridge. So why is it that you, the law enforcers, are allowing them or these trucks at checkpoints with so many people at the back when we know that trucks are goods vehicles?
Thank you, Priska. It has been a challenge on the enforcement officers countrywide, in the sense that you'd imagine, yes, you remember on Monday, Tuesday, we talked about these same trucks and the problem about if they are involved in an accident and the insurance part, because they are registered to carry 3 people, that's the driver and 2 passengers. And now if you carry other passengers at the back, it becomes a problem. And we also understand that the government is doing a lot in terms of construction of roads. Why I'm talking about roads is because of the road network, which is forcing some certain areas not to have operational buses. In short, they are not being, some routes are not being serviced by buses. So that has brought a very big challenge on part of our traffic officers, because we all understand that while we may restrict that these trucks should not carry passengers, in the other part of our country, we're still relying on trucks to ferry passengers. So that has been a challenge, and even when the truck comes across a checkpoint, the first thing these people will tell our officers is that where we are going, we are not serviced by a bus. So that has been the biggest challenge, and like we have asked on the latest accident, it's unfortunate, and people have also asked about the time. Many people have not understood the heavy-duty vehicles. They only want to know that the law of the SI 76 is only restricting public service vehicles as well as goods vehicles. So what the law says is actually commercial vehicles. So a goods vehicle, we regard it as a commercial vehicle, whether it's black number or it's red number. It's a commercial vehicle. It's also not supposed to be moving anytime after 21 hours. But you should realize that this truck apparently should have passed our checkpoint before 21 hours. And the accident happened after 21 hours, of course. We are very sorry about that, but we are also doing our own internal investigations to find out further on how it passed our checkpoint. But my advice is to the owners of these vehicles.
Maybe, Mr. Perry, before you reach on the part of advising maybe the owners of these trucks or vehicles, you've said, you're still conducting investigations to maybe determine what really made the officers who were on duty on that particular day to allow that truck past the checkpoint. My question is there anything wrong with the law enforcement agencies in this country? Because this is not the first time such things are happening. We've continued to lose lives.
I think I covered that answer in my preamble, where I said we have a challenge. Because one part of the country is serviced by buses. At the same time, the other side of the country is served by trucks. Even just within Lusaka here, you have witnessed people going for mourners being ferried in trucks to burial sites. You also witnessed a video which went viral in Kasama, where officers attempted to impound a truck for carrying passengers. And what did those people do? They diverted the coffin to a police station. So that is indeed a challenge on our part as enforcement is concerned. If we had to impound that truck, you find that maybe those people are going to be stranded. There's no any other means for them to proceed to wherever they were going. So that's why you heard me now almost going to my advice to the operators. Because the challenge is not just on the police, but where these people are coming from is where we are supposed to take education. So if we went into Namala, if we went maybe on the radio stations in those areas, not just Namala, we talk of rural areas, because this thing is happening in all the outskirts of our cities. People are still boarding trucks as passenger service, especially this time around when farmers have harvested and they are selling their commodities. They are visiting towns to buy other things which they need in those rural parts.
So how best can maybe these accidents be prevented, Mr. Perry?
Yes, you recall on Monday, I think I did mention that not knowing that there will be this accident, I did mention that these people owning trucks in the rural part, they should be able to approach RATSA and ask how they can turn their truck into a rural transport, what we call rural transport. So RATSA can advise how they can modify that vehicle and also give them possibly the number of passengers they are supposed to carry. Of course, they also advise them not to carry passengers together with goods. In the accident we were just referring to, we hear there was even a hammer mill. That is a killer in itself. You can't mix a heavy metal with passengers. So that was something wrong. And that's why I was also urging the operators, the owners of these vehicles. I know where this truck was coming from. People are hard-working people. They have farms. They are keeping animals, and they can afford to buy even a bus. Yes. So what they're supposed to be doing is, as they are coming into town, they should have two separate mode of transport: a truck to ferry goods and a bus to carry passengers. Whether they will think it is expensive, but you cannot vary your life. So I believe we must consider life as very important, and not to look at how much it is going to cost you for you to move from one place to another. So we still encourage that if they are moving with goods, they should separate goods from passengers. They should have a truck to carry passengers, a truck to carry goods, and a bus at least to carry passengers.
Our dear listener, remember you can also give us your comments on our Facebook page, which is Millennium Radio 90.5 FM, which I'll be able to read later on as the program goes on. My guest this afternoon, Puma Energy Zambia, Asata Ba Sondoi, Safety Manager, then also Mr. Yoram Piri, who is Zambia Road Safety Trust National Coordinator. Did I say Zambia National Road Safety Trust? Zambia Police. The yes. Zambia Road Safety Trust Communications Advisor, Miles Male. We are now opening the phone lines and the numbers to get in touch with us as 0962 870921 or 0953448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you have any question or any contribution concerning what we're looking at this afternoon, which is corporate social responsibility on road safety. The numbers once again as 0962 870921 or 0953448551. You are listening to Road Safety on Millennium Radio 90.5 FM. You can also catch us live on our Facebook page, which is Millennium Radio 90.5 FM in capital letters. Millennium Radio, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Fine.
Who are we talking to?
From Shilanga.
Yes, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. 0962 870921 0953448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch with us. 0962 870921 or 0953448551. Mr. Piri, as we are trying to get calls, briefly tell us about the second quarter statistics. I know that the statistics are out. Can you briefly pass us through that?
Yes, thank you very much. When we talk of second quarter, we are referring accidents reported before the police countrywide. That is from 1st April to 30th June 2017. And we always want to compare it with 2016, the same period. So we this year received a total number of 7,252 road traffic accidents, 7,252, out of which 328 are concentrated to where people died. 328 were fatal road traffic accidents. And out of these 328, we lost 432 persons. 328 were just mere accidents. As you are aware that in one accident you may lose many lives, just like the recent one. So 432 are people who died in the second quarter. And if we compare it with the second quarter of 2016, you find that there were 705 persons who died that time. So meaning there's a reduction of about 273 lives. Reduction of 272, because the same quarter last year we lost 705 people. Just 3 months, 705. So there's a bit of improvement, but like you heard from my colleague from Puma, any life lost is still painful. So as my colleagues have concentrated on children, I want quickly to go on children. because we also, in the same 432, there were also children who died. So if you look at our statistics here, we also put them in, we're ranging them from 0 to 16. Anybody below 16, we call them as children. So we lost on the part of the males. On part of the males, we lost 25. Then on part of the females, we lost 19. So this, if you add, it brings the total number of 44 young ones died in the 3 months we are just referring to. But then if we quickly go back to the category, the classification of these people who died altogether, including the children, you find that we had...
okay, Mr. P, let's see if we can accommodate a call, then we can pick it up from there. Millennium Major, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. You're through to road safety.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
We can hear you. Who are we talking to? Hello?
Hello.
Atitikambana Mandani. Okay, you can try calling us back. Millennium Radio, good afternoon.
Dr. Priska Lumigo Banja, good afternoon. How are you, madam?
I'm well, my fellow dog. How are you?
I'm very, very fine. Yes, Triple M, the Justice.
Yes, Triple M.
Thank you very much. And good afternoon to the panelists.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Well, a very important discussion today you are discussing, and I feel I should be part of this wonderful discussion. Now, quickly, let me also say this, that yes, we need more corporate world to come and perhaps even sponsor this program so that it should be every day and not 3 days in a week. Every day, because life is precious. And of course, to the Puma, where we say thank you very much indeed. But to you, I've got just one question. That why is it that in some other filling stations, not Puma, but other filling stations, irrespective of selling the fuel at a competitive price, you would find that others are selling Changanya, and then, we are hearing of such rumors which are, most cases, spoiling and damaging our vehicles. Why is it so? Could you kindly elaborate on that one? And then to Mr. Piri. Yes, sir, Mr. Piri, thank you very much. You are right here today. Well, to me, quickly, let us look at that accident that killed 10 people. Now, from all the relevant authorities that I'm listening to on different media stations, you do hear they are only condemning and putting the blame on the driver. Now, let us look at it. You are asked very pertinent questions on this program. That look, to the right, there are highway traffic patrols. Where were they? That's the one important question to ask ourselves. Where were they? For traffic police officers, there were, there are, I think, 2-3 roadblocks. And the others are also patrolling. Where were all these during, to allow this vehicle to pass at an open hour? Then the number 3, let me talk about even the road at which this accident happened. There are no potholes, and we are told that there was a truck which moved on the oncoming this truck. And by this driver trying to avoid this truck, he found himself overturning and killing people.
Okay.
You considered all this.
Okay.
Now,
summarize the question, Triple M.
Okay, let me just summarize, because anyway I'll come on the other day on Wednesday to
yes,
I'll come on Wednesday. Now let me summarize this question. The problem that we have is not because the driver was moving at night, and on that matter, there are other roads where there are no buses, only vans and trucks can go there. Now, to summarize my question, Mr. Piri, I want you to get me clear. This SI-76 prompted this driver to look for a better place to rest. Not because some places are very dangerous, Mr. Piri, and you have no one to help you when the criminals can attack you. And these places are well known. Even I know, Mr. Piri.
Okay.
He was trying to avoid these places to ban.
Are you sure? Okay, thank you very much.
For SI-75, it's a slavery instrument. Do away with it, and I know we will reduce it. Anyway, let me end here.
Thank you very much. We'll accommodate another call. 0962-87-0921, 0953-44-8551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch with us. You're listening to Road Safety on Millennium Radio 90.5 FM, brought to you by Puma Energy in conjunction with the Zambia Road Safety Trust. Millennium Radio, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. How are you?
Fine. How are you, sir?
I'm good. This is Brother Boyd.
Boyd, go ahead.
Yes. I want to ask you, Mr. Piri, one question.
Go ahead.
About drivers who always drunk if they are driving. So what the police, the way you think about the drivers if they are driving and drinking, what was the same thing which makes accidents from a road, you know? Yeah, so I want to know about the people who here and they are driving.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, madam.
Thank you very much. We'll accommodate these questions before we accommodate more calls. I start with you, Mr. Piri. You have two questions.
Yes, the first one is something which we have already indeed answered, but however, I will still repeat because I said we are in a dilemma as police officers because the same trucks are also allowed to ferry people in the rural part of the country. So it's very, very difficult for us to handle these situations, not until when we'll have buses running in all the rural parts. Then we'll be able to say, why are you in the truck? Because there are buses all over. So that is how I can answer that one. Drink and driving, I'm happy I'm with my colleague from Puma here, where I was physically tested myself before entering their offices. So you can imagine if at a workplace, people can provide such instruments to test a person who is coming for work. What more with a person who is driving this machine on the road, who is carrying this cargo, who is carrying these passengers? It's a pity that we do not have sufficient testing equipment. I'm happy I'm with Puma. It's like I'm now appealing from the corporate world to help us purchase this more equipment. We need to have a lot of breathalyzers so that maybe at every checkpoint we should at least have a set of breathalyzers. So where we feel we can test on a sample on drivers, we do that. Because the best enforcement is not to look at a person who looks tired is the only person you test. No, you test at least everybody randomly. So even the people who are drinking will be thinking twice. You say it's likely, there's a likelihood that I can be tested.
Okay.
Yes.
Asata, issues of Changanya fuel.
Okay, thank you, Priska. I'm very happy that Triple M acknowledged that this is not found at our filling stations. I wouldn't be in a position to comment on behalf of the other filling stations, but what I would say to Triple M and to the rest of the listeners out there is you have a voice through the Energy Regulation Board. So if you have filling stations where you suspect that there are some malpractices going on and they are selling poor quality fuel, please go to ERB and report this matter, and it shall be treated with the seriousness that it deserves.
Okay. 0962-870-0953-448551. Millennium Radio, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, how are you? You're through to Road Safety.
Yeah?
Tikambala ndani, muni pakuru Millennium Radio.
Yeah, there's nothing that number. There's a phone call. Mutema playing my songs.
Oh, so you ni kubwela direct ku office.
Oh, in person again.
We tilipa radio apatishta program.
Alright, alright.
Okay, thank you very much. Millennium Radio, good afternoon. We've lost that call. 0962-87-0921-0953-448551. 0962-87-0921 or 0953-448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch. Millennium Radio, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please.
Good afternoon. Who are we talking to?
I'm afraid of Chunga.
Fred, go ahead.
Unaweza kwa pili. Unaweza kwa pili ujampando hapa kati wa bus flank seat. Na kulima seats ya tatu kusogorai. ya passenger seat first kumangala muntu seat belt yapakati libe seat belt then imatantauza cyane because wenda uzokupeza muntu yenda mroad walk first ngavala seat belt na driver vala vino pakati libe seat belt wa eve suma mpasa mlandi because kuja konse ngusogora so nzafuna bapiri wanyange ko pali yo question
okay
then ya number pido mwe kulunga wapeza twalunga pali police batisha police walipo nje shoma senza chani kutina watandizire ko pali yo side
zikomo
yo
0962-870921-0953-448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch with us. You are listening to Road Safety. Melania Major, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Mine is a contribution. Good afternoon, Mr. Perry.
Good afternoon, madam.
Your name, ma'am?
I'd like us to see the officers that are corrupt in your traffic section being reprimanded for us to know that you people are working against corruption. Because even if we're going to talk about issues of not having buses on the route where that truck had 40 people, already there's an issue of overloading. So from where I am, I know it works on the road. Probably he had a budget, the driver had a budget as he was coming to pay the cost. So if Mr. Perry is saying, because I know you've already addressed this issue, but it's a sensitive issue, and we can't keep quiet. So if Mr. Perry is saying there's an action internally, may we know as the public the conclusion of that investigation, so that the other police officers, if anyone is to blame apart from the driver for this, at least folks know that the serious message has been sent to corrupt officers, because those are the ones we have the most on the road.
Okay.
There is no crime, but people can't pay through.
Okay. Your
Thank
name, ma'am?
you.
We didn't get your name.
Mutinta.
Mutinta, thank you very much. 0962-870921-0953-448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch with us. Mr. Pri, 2 questions for you.
Yes, let me start with from the honorable was called on this program.
Issues of corruption.
He wants to see these officers punished, and we must expose them. Of course, if an officer has committed an offense, a corrupt practice, there are several punishments rendered. One, if there's evidence, some of them have been handed over to Anti-Corruption Commission and have been convicted. But there are few cases, so which tells that we do not have these complaints coming forward. And we are not the only people who are supposed to receive these complaints. Because sometimes they say the police will defend each other. But we have other bodies like the Anti-Corruption Commission. So people are free to go and report such corrupt officers even to Anti-Corruption Commission. But it's because we are dealing with the society which is partially rotted, and they are not willing to report such cases. So just merely talking about the police to be corrupt would not be fair. But we want people to come out and report and refuse to give officers money without getting a receipt. These are the kind of society we are looking for. So let's not just talk about the police officers, but let's also look at the community itself. How is it? Is it straightforward? Yes, I've mentioned that we need to find out how that vehicle passed, and indeed, when we conclude our investigations, we'll come out in the open. We have nothing to hide. But I've told you the difficulties we are facing. And along Freedom Way, buses loading is an issue where we need to educate, not just to put the officers. Even when we plant officers at Hungry Lion, Odd Stanley, Pep stores, the bus will move 200 meters away from where we have stationed an officer, and people will jump in the vehicle while it is moving. So it's a question of the community. Let the people learn to go and board these buses from the bus stations. If you talk of Hungry Lion, it's less than 100 meters from Lumumba. I mean, from City Market. Why go at Hungry Lion? So it's a challenge, and we are finding it difficult to enforce this to patrol this road, because sometimes we had instances where immediately the minibus driver hears there's a traffic car coming or a Honda. The conductor will just shout, Honda. The driver won't consider the person who is boarding the bus, won't consider whether in front there are people crossing or there are marketeers selling. You just cruise past.
Okay.
So that is the other fear we have in our city.
Issues of seatbelt.
Seatbelt, I believe where the middle seat has no seatbelt, it means that bus is meant to carry one passenger in front. But we should also be careful. There are certain seatbelts which just are for the on the waist only. So maybe that's why people do not realize that it is there. They always want the one which goes across the chest. Mm-hmm. So if there's no seatbelt for the middle seat, it means it is not supposed to be occupied by any passenger.
Okay, we can pick maybe one or two last calls because we've run out of time. 0962-870921 or 0953448551. Those are the two numbers to use if you want to get in touch. Millennium Major, good afternoon. Chili Bueno, Kamba na ndani?
Ni kama na Big Joe Chawam.
Yes, my Big Joe, go ahead.
Angani ameni ya accident, ameni ya shika huko. Nanda tukoze marudo kuchimiza mosi ya tatu. Marudo marudo kwa tatu kwa kufinka was number and after we driver by license. So kufinka wajawa police wajawa traffic officer many zeko bali. Aisha time. Kufinka waendeshe tumaseuzi. Arau moto ya pita pa 50 road alipe driving license. Second futa pita alipe driving license. So which means our one amarudo kaya number 1 number 2 result something. Kufinka waendeshe tumaseuzi ukiwa na police wapunzilile pati. Kufinka zichi kinga not register arau my license wazienda pa road.
Okay, Uzikomo. And that was our last call. Mr. Perry, your
Yes.
your comment and your last word.
3 checkpoints. Somebody is confirming here that it passed through 3 checkpoints. Let us be sincere in what we are saying. It may not be true that it passed through 3 checkpoints. So what we should do here is let us wait for what we are trying to investigate. And for the issue of a driver's license, what we are told, according to the information on newspapers, is that they changed the driver after passing the checkpoint. This unlicensed driver took over after passing through the checkpoint. Because these people, they are also aware that this area now, we are likely not to meet any police officer or any checkpoint. So they can do whatever they want to do. So that is what I can say. But definitely, you wait for what we are trying to find out ourselves. Don't just rely on rumors that this vehicle passed through 3 checkpoints.
Asata, your last words.
Okay, like I was saying to our employees the other day, I'll say it to the listeners as well, let's challenge unsafe behavior. So if you are on a vehicle and the driver is not abiding by the rules, speak out. It's your life that is at stake. Don't keep quiet. You will die quietly. Road safety matters to Puma Energy, and in this vein, we'll continue partnering with entities like Zambia Road Safety Trust and other organizations that are willing to support road safety.
Mr. Mwale.
Oh, thank you very much. Today I didn't talk too much, isn't it?
Yes, so you can conclude at least within 2 minutes or yes.
2 minutes, okay. No, I would like just to contribute for Mr. Triple M, blaming the driver. I think last time on this forum, I think I talked about whenever there's a crash, there's actually 3 things that are involved. There's a vehicle, there's a driver, and the road environment itself. And it's good that Mr. Piri has actually said that they are going to do their own investigations. Because we can blame a driver, maybe it's a road environment itself. So, and we could love that we demand for a detailed investigation. And also our concern is why not banning these trucks to be moving during the day? Because most of the crashes for these trucks, they really happened at night. In Mazabuka, again, that was again at night. This one, again, is at night. Now, why do these people prefer to move at night rather than during the day? I think that is very important. And my last contribution is on the breathalyzers. We are happy as the trust that some people actually, after the donation of the 2 breathalyzers to the Zambia police, today we also received a call that a company in Chilabombwe, they need the breathalyzers at that company. So they want to know where they can actually buy or one, so to start with. So meaning that people have actually realized that road safety is important in their workplaces, so that is really good. Okay, and Mr. Perry, before we go, I've just remembered, we had a question on Friday from Masiame. He was saying when an accident happened, then maybe your relative was involved in that accident. Where do they get a full report as relatives? Who can they, or where can they go to see to it that they are given a report of what really transpired from that accident? Because he was talking about this recent accident along Kafiwa Road, not that one concerning Boys Brigade, that no much information has come out from that. Okay. The Puma accident, there are 2 stations which could have handled that one. It's either Embassy here at Chawama Turnoff or Chilanga. So the station which handled that accident is the station which is supposed to issue a police report. But the problem sometimes people do not understand who is supposed to apply for that police report. For example, if their relative died, who is entitled to go and ask for the police report? It's a person who is chosen by the family as an administrator, and he should present to the officers that letter from the court that he has been appointed as an administrator of estate of the deceased. Then he is going to be attended to, not any other person just walking into a police station and demanding for a police report. There are families which have been swindled out of monies because they have used the wrong person to go and push a claim. Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Our dear listeners, this is where we have to end today's segment of Road Safety Program. We've been looking at corporate social responsibility on road safety. My guest, Zambia Police Superintendent in charge of road traffic safety awareness, Mr. Yoram Piri, who is also National Road Safety Coordinator, also Zambia Road Safety Trust Communications Advisor, Miles Mwale, Asataba Sondoi, Safety Manager from Puma Energy Zambia PLC. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for those contributions. This has been Road Safety, brought to you by Puma Energy in conjunction with the Zambia Road Safety Trust. My name is Priska Lumingo Banda. Always remember to fasten that seatbelt. Remember that speed kills. Do not drink and drive. Be road smart. Until next time, which is Wednesday, have a blessed afternoon. Bye-bye.
When a person embarks on a journey, their greatest achievement is to arrive alive and safe. That's why, as per tradition, we say, safe journey. When the
we have come a long way. 1941, first transmitter installed. 1966, Zambia's first TV goes on air. Then came Puma TV, 24 hours broadcast. And now it's time for another improvement, digital migration. Yes, it's time to Yasha Digital Yesu with Topstar. Buy a Topstar HD decoder today at the nearest Topstar dealer. Enjoy digital life with more channels in crystal clear picture at an affordable price of 199 kwacha for a full kit with HD decoder from Topstar. Enjoy free viewing while offer lasts. Topstar, the only authorized public signal distributor in Zambia. Topstar, enjoy digital life.
And now, the news headlines brought to you by Mobile City, the phone's paradise.
Mobile City at the trade fair in Indola.
Ala kwele fintu kuna nafuchi pakwai. Kwa tina kalima wale pena fyo bupe.